Hello fellow YouTubers, LEGO EWC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old, and today I'm taking a look at the Sonic Movie 3 5-inch and 2.5-inch Supersonic, and the Chao Mascot tails. I don't know how noticeable this is, but if I sound a little off, I have allergies right now. I'm not planning on filming this all in one go, so depending on how I'm feeling, like in the next couple days, I might sound normal later on in the video, but just thought I'd let you know. In case you were wondering, I've had these figures since early mid-December thereabouts, and once again, I haven't gotten around to reviewing them, but I think it's finally time to get these guys out. Like with Shadow and Eggman, I'll talk more about the packaging in the description for the 5-inch figures when I review those actual figures. But first, let's go and take a look at the 2.5-inch Supersonic. So taking a look at this figure in the packaging, just a simplified version of the Sonic Movie 3 decorations that have been on the packaging for the 5-inch figures. Mainly got Shadow's eye and the logo right there. And on the back it shows the other figures. I have Knuckles and Shadow. I actually don't have that version of Tails. I'm not really in a big hurry to get it. But I saw this guy at a Walmart when I was out of town and just thought, why not? So, let's go and get him out. Now, I actually don't have a 2.5-inch figure of movie Supersonic, so it's my first taste of it. I know he was in that Death Egg playset that came out for movie 2, but that playset just looked really crappy, so I never bothered getting it. It's nice to have a single release of this guy, although one thing that just really bothers me, probably more than it should, is that with the movie 2 Supersonic, he didn't have the right amount of quills according to the movie design. Why was that not fixed here? Is this just an exact recreation of that mold? Anyone who has it, let me know in the comments, but yeah, that really bothers me. They didn't bother to fix that. Aside from that, though, I really like the color scheme they went with here. Nice and shiny. Wish more Supersonic figures had this type of color scheme. I think the expression fits. The eyes look good. And comparing them to the movie 2 2.5-inch Sonic, the mold looks to be about the same molded centimeters. Like the legs look about the same, the left arms look about the same, but the right arms look a little different. And the torso, I think this is a new torso piece. It's nice it doesn't have the cut. Yeah, I actually still don't have the movie 3 2.5-inch Sonic figure. I don't know, it just didn't really do much for me. I probably will get him though eventually when I get the crab meat playset, but I just didn't really bother getting the single release of it. Anyway, for his posability, it's pretty much what you can expect. Head is on a ball joint, but not really a ton of up or down movement. He can turn, shoulders can do a full 360, can go up that high, legs can go forward that far, and back that far, and they can rotate. So it's pretty basic articulation for a 2.5-inch figure. All in all, it's a good figure. I don't regret getting it. I wish they'd added an extra quill. I feel like that wouldn't have taken that much effort. But, oh well, I'm not Jakks, so just a guy reviewing it. So anyway, there's the movie 3 2.5-inch Supersonic. So now here we have the 5-inch movie 3 Supersonic, and I'm really excited about having a Supersonic figure, but with the movie 3 level posability. That's going to be really cool to have a Supersonic that can pose a lot more dynamically. Looking at him in the box, looks good. On the back, the description says, Supersonic is the ultimate form for Sonic. In this state, his power is unmatched. Or is it? There's 22 points for articulation. There's the other figures from the wave. So, without further ado, let's get him out. So looking at this figure right out of the box, all in all, he looks really, really good. Most of it is, of course, carried over parts from the regular Movie 3 5-inch Sonic. The main difference will be on the head, and he's got that extra quill, so that sort of makes up for the defect on the 2.5-inch one. Head sculpt, though, does look good. I like the look of the quills. There are some weird things going on with the face. Mine's got like this little white piece of plastic like hanging down, and it's behind the kind of clear part, so I can't get that out, and that kind of bothers me. And in terms of the sculpt, I'm a little iffy about him having a smirk. Not that Supersonic ever smirks or anything. It's just, I don't know, I kind of like the expression better on the 2.5-inch one. I just like Supersonic to look angry or determined. I also kind of prefer the color scheme on the 2.5-inch one. This isn't bad. I mean, I like yellow. It's just, would have been kind of cool to get a more shiny look. Maybe they could have done that in the light up 2-pack, but then again, those figures lit up, so maybe not really a reason for them to do that. One thing I appreciate is that the stomach fur is way more visible than it was on the Movie 2 Supersonic. Like, yeah, that's barely showing up. Yeah, I don't know, they just didn't really go with the greatest color. So it's nice to have a Supersonic that out of the gate doesn't really have any major issues, because I've noticed with Supersonic figures that the first release tends to have issues. Like with Jazzwares, the first one they made was just a repaint of regular Sonic, and that's not right. Then they made a 3-inch Supersonic, which had the weird eyeliner. Then Jakks, their first Supersonic, was the bendy one that had yellow arms. And that was based on the game design, so that didn't work. And then with the Movie 2 Supersonic, his eyes were green in the initial release. So I don't know why that happens with Supersonic, but I'm just glad that this figure and this figure are good to start with. Yeah. Otherwise, rest of the details on him. The gloves and shoes, like I said, they're pretty much the same as the regular Sonic, so no point in really going in detail about them. And articulation, I'm probably not going to really go too much into either, since it's mostly the same. All of the movement on the head is a lot better than with the regular Sonic. It's not bad on the regular Sonic, but that's really nice movement there. Yeah. Good job on that, Jakks. That just feels really good. Shoulders can do a full 360, and they can go up that far, thereabouts. And then they have the, I think that, yeah, it has the ball joint thingy going into the chest. Butterfly joints. And he has a bicep rotation, an elbow bend, above and below elbow bend, and then the pivot in the wrists, and the hands open and close, and a little bit of the torso rotation. Not really too much ab crunch going on there though. Legs can go forward that far and back that far. They can go out to the side. You have a thigh rotation, knee bend, a little over 90, above and below knee swivel, and then the back and forth on the feet, and pivot in the ankles. So, as I said, it's pretty much the same as the regular Sonic, but there's nothing wrong with that. Ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, aside from a couple gripes with just personal preferences with the just expression mainly, and a few QC issues, I don't really have too much to complain about with this guy in terms of his appearance or articulation. He looks and feels really good. For some comparisons, here's the new Movie 3 5-inch Sonic with all the other movie Sonic figures that I have. And just for fun, I threw in the Supersonic from the games. This is making me wonder still if I do want to get the light-up Supersonic at some point, because that would make this part of the collection feel more complete, but I don't know. I'm going back and forth on it. It's cool, but it's just, I don't know if I really need it for the collection. All in all, this is another figure that I definitely recommend. I was really looking forward to the idea of having a Supersonic with this type of posability, and he delivers. A few little gripes, but I have gripes about every figure to some degree. So if you can still find this guy, definitely get him. Okay, now on to Chao Mascot Tails. A variant that is very bizarre and honestly kind of baffling to me for a couple reasons, but I'll get into that more later. The description, it says, sometimes being a genius means sporting a mascot costume from your favorite Japanese cafe. 20 points for articulation. So, without further ado, let's go and get this guy out of the packaging. Now, taking a look at this figure, I really don't have too much to say about him since it's mostly just a figure I've already looked at. The main thing we're going to be talking about here is just the head. I think it looks really good. I think the closed eyes and the teeth, it's got a cute look to it. I think the horns are done well, and paint on them looks pretty clean. You got the pom-pom on top, which is sculpted nicely. The painted circle underneath of it, though, going around it, that looks a little messy. All in all, though, the paint on it is pretty good. So that's really all I have to say in terms of the paint and sculpt work. Just going to kind of run through articulation. Pretty much same deal. Of course, the arm movement is going to be a little more limited because it can't go up very easily. But the movement from the regular Tails is still there. But the leg movement is still a little stiff right now. But it is there. And one thing I noticed is that this ankle seems fine, but this one is really tight. Loosen it up a little bit, but that thing was really tight out of the box. Whereas this one, that's pretty normal amount of tightness. So I'm not sure what happened there, but not really a big complaint at all. Just something to mention. So yeah, that's really it for this figure in terms of the look and articulation. I think it's done well. I don't have any major complaints about how the figure itself is executed aside from some slightly sloppy paintwork up here, but that doesn't matter to me that much. For some comparisons, here we have the Movie 3 5-inch Chao Mascot Tails compared to the other Movie Tails figures that I have, and the 4-inch Game Tails. This is really where I want to kind of talk about just what a bizarre inclusion this was in the line, because first thing I want to mention is that for Movie 2, there were 2 variants of Tails released with the flight goggles, one for the 2.5-inch scale and one for the 4-inch scale. I only had the 2.5-inch one, but it was a really weird variant because we never saw that look in the movie. So I just can't help but wonder why they didn't do that variant for Movie 3, because we actually saw him with these in the third movie. Not these specifically, but just with flight goggles on. It's just kind of an interesting choice. We did see this look in the movie also, but another thing is that I don't think this is going to be part of a complete set, because we're getting Chao Mascot Sonic in the 2.5-inch scale, and I've said before, I don't know if I see them doing that many more waves, so I don't know if Chao Mascot Sonic or Knuckles will happen in the 5-inch scale. So I really think it would have just been better for them to release a Tails variant with the fly goggles on, and then release this along with 5-inch versions of Sonic and Knuckles with Chao Mascots on in like a 3-pack, because it did a variant 3-pack back when the second movie came out. Yeah, there's been a lot of multi-packs for this line of figures, but still, I think that would have been a better option, just so we can have more consistency, because now I just got this random Chao Mascot Tails. But I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. It's just really, really weird. But while I do still have some complaints just for this figure's inclusion or just lack of other variants like it, who knows, maybe those variants like this for Sonic and Knuckles will happen in this video will age poorly. that'd be awesome. I'd be glad to be proven wrong there. But as I said, it's a bizarre variant. I do kind of appreciate it in a weird way for that. I know I complain about it a lot, but I do kind of appreciate just how unique this is. And if you like kind of weird variants like this, I think you will enjoy this figure. And also, if you're a completionist, obviously you need to get him. So it's specific people or types of collectors, but I do sort of recommend this figure. He's weird, but in a kind of good way. Overall, these are more solid additions to the Sonic Movie 3 collection. Out of all of these, the 5-inch Supersonic is definitely the one I recommend the most, because I really feel like the 2.5-inch one and the Chao Mascot tails would appeal to just specific types of collectors. I have them, I like them, but they're probably not going to be for everybody. Now, if you want to get these figures, in terms of online, these two are actually in a bundle for Wave 2 on Amazon. That's actually a really good price. So if you want to go that route, I think that's a good option. If you want to get them individually, though, online, I found him on Amazon for $20. So a little over retail price, but not too bad. I did also see where he was on Walmart.com for the retail price. I personally don't completely trust Walmart online because I just haven't heard the greatest stories about it, but it might be legit. Now, the Supersonic, I saw a listing for him on Amazon that was over double the retail price. So, yeah, a little iffy. They're not horrible, but I wouldn't say it's the best way to get him. And then the 2.5-inch Supersonic, I haven't really seen these at Walmart outside of the one I saw when I was out of town, and I just went ahead and got him. But I did see a listing for him on eBay that wasn't too horribly expensive. It was actually a pretty decent price. It was technically a little over double retail price, but still was $11. Not that bad. And just kind of the same issue with the 5-inch figures here also. The only time I saw them was when I was out of town and I bought them. I don't think I've seen them in stores ever since then. So yeah, that's really kind of annoying. It's not that bad. I have them already, but it is annoying that they're just so hard to find. And I know that's kind of an issue with Jakks Sonic figures in general, but usually for stuff based on movies and shows, those are easier to find than the stuff based on the game. So I'm not completely sure what's going on with this line. Kind of annoying, but it hasn't been too bad for me yet. So if you want to get these figures, those are my recommendations. And unless I end up finding that 4-pack, or not 4-pack, that 2.5-inch multi-pack that has Ancient Stone, haven't seen that anywhere yet. Or if I get the crab meat set in the next couple weeks, that's probably going to be it for me for Sonic Movie 3 stuff until the Wave 3 of the 5-inch figures come out, which I am looking forward to. The Gerald Robotnik and Super Shadow, those are going to be awesome. And then there's the Fiery Fist Knuckles. I have Knuckles already. So we'll have to wait and see if I end up getting that just to get the Flaming Fist accessories. They'd be really cool to have, but I just don't know if I can justify getting another figure just for those accessories. But we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for me for these figures. In terms of what I'm going to review next, I don't really know. But hopefully by next week I'll have something I can think of that I can review. So let me know what you think of these figures down in the comments. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and God bless.